Hello everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Destiny video. Yesterday, Fantasy Flight released a few spoilers for the next set for Star Wars Destiny. One of those cards being Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan has, I think, a pretty good die. Essentially 3 damage sides if you count her special. The ability to include yellow villain upgrades in your deck. And then if she has a villain upgrade on her, her special, instead of doing 2 damage, will do 3 damage. So I went through all the cards in Star Wars Destiny, and these are all the yellow villain upgrades that she'll be able to include in her deck, and you can use them on her or on your other characters. So looks like we have, first up we have armor plating. So just a 1 cost equipment, and before the attached character takes damage, you may block up to 2 damage, then discard it. She gets access to blackmail. So legendary upgrade, 3 cost, 2 discard, 3 discard, 2 disrupt, 3 disrupt, 3 shields and a blank, and after you roll this die, an opponent may give you a resource to have the die removed. She can use cable launcher. So 2 cost, 1 disrupt, 1 discard, resource, 2 specials and a blank. Can only go on a yellow character. Special, choose a character, remove 1 of its character dice, or spend 1 resource to remove 2 of its character dice. She gets access to Crime Lord, so 4 cost, yellow character only. 2 focus, 3 disrupt for a resource, 2 shields, 2 resources, 2 specials. Specials spend 5 resources to choose a character. That character is defeated after this round ends. So if you're running her in a deck that has a lot of resource generation, you can throw Crime Lord on her, and then if you have enough resources, you can actually trigger the special. She has access to Deadly, so upgrade with 0 dice, doesn't have any dice with it. Cost 2, and as an action, you can exhaust his upgrade, remove one of the attached character's dice to deal 2 unblockable damage to a character. So if you roll in badly, you can exhaust his upgrade, remove one of those dice, and do damage. Or if your opponent manipulates your dice somehow, you can then use Deadly to remove that die, that they say maybe turned into a blank, to do damage. He also gets access to Flamethrower, so 3 cost, 2 melee, 4 melee for a resource, disrupt, resource, special blank. Special deal 1 damage to each to up to 3 different characters. So the less characters that they have, the worse this is going to be. But if they have 3 characters, they can each take 1 damage. She gets access to Gaffy Stick. So 2 cost, 2 melee for a resource, plus 2 melee, disrupt, resource, special blank. It has redeploy, and the special is you can remove one of your dice showing melee damage to deal 3 damage to a character. She gets access to Hunter Instinct from the Boba Fett starter. So 2 cost, focus, disrupt, discard, 2 specials and the blank. Special deal 1 damage to a character or 2 damage instead if that character has 3 or more damage on it. She gets access to the LL30 blaster pistol. So 2 cost, has ambush and redeploy. 1 range, plus 2 range. Shield special blank, and the special is you can turn another one of your dice to a side showing range damage. So let's say you rolled her in with this on the special, and she rolled a blank and like let's say a resource. You can use the special on the LL30 to basically focus her into her 3 damage side. She has access to On the Hunt, so 1 resource, plus 1 range damage, plus 1 melee damage. Discard 2 specials and the blank. Special, remove all shields from a character. You may spend 1 resource to remove one of its character or upgrade dice. You can get personal shield, so she has a little bit of survivability. 2 cost, 1 shield, 2 shields, 3 shields for a resource, and 2 blanks. And before the attached character is dealt 2 or more range damage, you may exhaust this upgrade to give the attached character a shield. She has access to prized possession, so 4 cost. And after you play this upgrade, you may remove an opponent's character die and place it on this card. It is not rolled by any character and does not return to its character unless this upgrade leaves play. He gets the Relby V10 mortar gun, 3 cost, 2 range, plus 3 range, 2 disrupt, resource blank. And as an action, you can spend 2 resources, move this die showing range damage to deal that damage to each of an opponent's characters. So if it's on the +3, you spend 2 resources, remove it, and it hits all of your opponent's characters for 3 damage, basically turning it into a thermal detonator. He has access to Vibro Knucklers. So 3 cost, 1 melee, 2 melee, discard, 2 discard, and blank. It has ambush. And before resolving the die, you may spend 1 resource to increase its value by 1. So it becomes a 2, 2, 3 2-3 essentially, if you're depending on what you're resolving between damage and discard. And finally, she has access to wrist rockets. So 3 cost for the Boba Fett starter, 2 range damage, 4 indirect for a resource, a discard, resource special blank. Goes on a yellow character only. Special, deal 2 damage to a character. You may spend 1 resource to deal 2 damage to a character. So you deal 2, you can spend the resource and deal 2 more. So those are all the yellow villain upgrades you can include in a deck that is running Bo-Katan. I really like the character because this is just what's out currently. I think she's just going to get better and better with each yellow villain upgrade that they make. I can see her being a lot of fun to play, especially if you have access to all these upgrades. So currently this looks like 15 cards, and Fantasy Flight is of course going to be making more yellow villain upgrades in the future, so she'll just get better and better with each set. So this is just a little video on what villain upgrades at the moment you can include with her, and of course there'll be more coming out in the future. That's going to do it for this video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.